Okay, false alarm. I mean, not really false alarm. I did get voicemail, and it was a call that I would be interested in, but I don't need to call them back right now. So, sorry. So the question is, do you hear more than just tapping here? You shouldn't be just because I got this other mic arm that was recommended to me by Warped Imagination, David from Warped Imagination, and it came and I've set it up and it doesn't have springs in it, so there shouldn't be random sounds beyond just me tapping the desk. So that's good because every time I would put my glass down, it used to make big sounds. Now I don't think it will, but you gotta tell me because I can't hear it. Anyways, the other thing is the mic's in a slightly different position. So if I sound different, if I sound too loud, if I sound too quiet, please let me know. All right, let's check out this demo scene because I've been working on it a little bit. We've got some options here. So this is the game scene itself. Now, this is where you show up after the character creation scene, and it will load whatever was the last game that was here. So, you know, you've got these different characters now.
Pick me!
And they have a 10% chance of saying something when you click on them. So, they don't always do it.
Let's get some loot.
So, and you can also type 1, 2, 3, 4 to select them, or go tab, 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 or shift tab to go in reverse. You can see that they're blue when they're selected, white when they're ready to be selected. And if you click this little active time 1 minute, you see that they turn on to be unselectable.
Let's get some loot.
Well, there's a bug right there. You're not supposed to be able to select her when she is unselectable. And you can do that to all of them because it automatically selects the next one. And this is using the game time module to automatically set a or not automatically, but you basically say when am I available again. So if you want that kind of logic in your game, it's something you can code, but it's using game time, so it just says, oh yeah, 3 minutes from now you'll be available again. And for now I can't actually select her technically, like this player 3 I'm hitting 1, but player 3 still selected. Same here.
Are you sure about this?
That being said, apparently we do have a little bit of a thing where this isn't supposed to be happening, but it is. So let's quickly see. Chance of activation, switch to new character, got clicked. So this is where the issue is here. What we really need to do is say if there's a player portrait where we have our player. So if player dot is ready, then so if it's not ready, or if player or player is dead, yeah. Or then return. So if they're dead or if they're dead or not, then return. Otherwise, we'll switch to new character. And switch to new character is going to have something here called open player inventory, which I'm still working on. I'm going to be converting the inventory and loot tutorial or demo scene to this. I started it, but it doesn't really work right now because I've got to make some updates. So as you can see here, this it kind of works, but it's not this. Everything's kind of wonky about it, and my escape button isn't working, so I have to stop. So we're not going to use the inventory loot for this little bit. Thank you, Tech Dave. Thank you for confirming that. Anyway, so yeah, we got some cool stuff going on here. Oh, saving loading is totally working, and as you can see right here, also we've got the stats showing up here and party gold. So if I click this and add gold, we can add gold. I can subtract gold. Gold doesn't go down more than 0. We can set our position back to 0 just as a little test to see that working. We can make our hit points go down, and we can make our hit points go back up. Hit points won't go all the way down, but you can see that now the player is dead. That's why this is black, and now I cannot select them. Well, it's funny. I shouldn't be able to. I just made this like literally a few seconds ago. Is active player open player inventory? That's interesting. It's trying to say switch to new character. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna have to update this because what it's doing. We're gonna say debug.log. We'll need to fix this. Oops, and let's just spell out the character name. Active player is active player.name. actor name. There we go. And what's happening is when I try select one, it's actually selecting the next one, I think. And we don't want it to open the inventory unless you're selecting one that's already selected and capable of being selected. So in this case, we have Jennifer here and Brer here. Their names are in the top right. And if I select Jennifer and I make her inactive, and then now Brer's selected, but if I keep hitting 1, no, it doesn't seem to be. Well, I don't know. Well, maybe it was working. Either way, I think I'm going to need to fix that later. But the cool thing is that all this shows up, which is very nice. We got the debugs, which is really nice. We've got the ability to save, of course, and saving's working just fine. So if I click save here, we can reload the level, which just basically loads the level. And so as you can see, we can come over here, reload the level, and we're back where we started. Same thing, we can add, remove our hit points, and do all this. Add some gold. Actually, we'll take away a whole bunch of gold. And then I'll activate a new player. I need to make it so that a new player is active when it's dead. That's something I should add. And then we will do that. And then we will save. And then we will move back here. And I will load. Let's see what happens. There we are. So we're all in the same spot. No matter how many times we reload. We reload back in the same... Ooh, actually, look at that. Reload back in the same spot? No! Interesting. Let's check game time. I'm wondering if there's a bug here. She was not able to operate, so when we reload, we should reload. But you know what's happening? Game time is not saving its state. That's what's happening. So let's spit out game time up here first. Or maybe we'll spit out game time at the very, very top. That seems like a decent place for that, and maybe a button that pauses things as well. So let's see, and then we'll make game time save because that's extremely important. Yeah, because now that I think about it, I never set that up, and it's something I need to set up. All right, so in our UI here, we will do our demo scene readouts. We're going to create a new button. So UI button, button, and we're gonna call this game time pause readout. Just gonna spit out the current game time. So current game time, and it's going to be very pretty and big and all that nice stuff. So we'll make it 18, and we'll make this button wider. Just do this method. Nope, that stretches it. We don't want to stretch it. We want to do this method, and we'll center it and bring it. Oh, bring it up to the tippy top, and there we go. And this is going to pause too, so we're gonna have a little script on this, and let's just make this stay at the top, and let's get the script on it. So we are going to go to our scripts and UI. And stat readouts. No, not the stat readouts. We're going to do it in the other ones. C# script. We're going to say game time readout. And we'll open it up. And I will zoom in just a little bit for all you small screened individuals out there. And we're going to do namespace and Infinity PBR modules.demo, and inside this, we need our access to timeboard. So you're going to use static Infinity PBR.modules.timeboard. You could, of course, down here write timeboard.timeboard is the same thing, but I like to do it up there so I don't have to do it down there. So we need a private void awake, and we need a toggle private void toggle pause will do, and we need a method or not a field up here for public int pause level, and there's gonna be a 2. Game time has this concept of pause level where, you know, in some games full pause would be like you can't do anything. This system menu is up, you can save, load, that's it, you know. That might be pause level 3, where pause level 2 might be, hey, time has stopped, but we're still working in the game. So maybe the inventory's up, your magic menu's up, something like that. And pause level 1 might be a turn-based scenario. So the time is still running, but you're no longer in first-person mode or something like that. So something is different there. Or maybe time pauses during that, and the time is going to be operated manually as things go on. So something like that. So pause level is going to be 2, and then on awake here we're going to you know what this is going to be? This is going to be a blackboard follower, and then on this one on awake we're going to set time, or actually. Start coroutine, set time, and we'll have to create that. So let's just do that right now. And on this, we're gonna say if time board equals null, then yield return null. This will do it. Numerator. There we go. This will 1 or 2 frames. That's about it. And then we will start actions. So we're gonna call this start actions, and then we're gonna set time. Okay. And on set time, we are going to do something private void set time. Probably on set time, we're just going to say, well, we need a reference to our public text, and we're going to just update this pretty easily here. So we're going to say timeboard dot. Do I have this already here? Not frame time. I think I need to go into game time for game time dot, and it's one of these like full time or something like that. Where is it? What is it? Let's see. Game time. Nope, it's not in time board then. It's game time. Game time. I swear it's. I thought it was full time, but I guess not. Now, later. Season name, month name, day name. Where is it? Add methods. Full date. Yeah, so full date does all of this stuff. I should probably put a note up there, up here, because that might be helpful. So now and later, the candy. Note if you're looking for the method that returns a human readable first full date, use full date. Alright. If it gets me, it will get others. Alright, so dot full date. How come it's not showing up here? Oh, game time. Duh. That's why it didn't show up for me. See, if it had, then it would just shown up like that, because I was pretty sure I knew the name of it. Anyways, so when we set time, we're gonna set the text to this. So so we're actually gonna say text equals that, and we're gonna do that at the start as soon as time board's available, and then we're gonna do it every single time that the time board updates itself. So the time board follower. So it's actually a time board follower. So you see the time board follower has these little things similar to Blackboard follower, but specifically it's going to be subscribing to the time board which is the blackboard on the time board object, rather than the main blackboard, which is another blackboard. So the time board has its own blackboard, and that's what we're subscribing to on game time readout. And then as a time board follower, you can see that there's a virtual void receive change, and that's what we're going to be looking for. So we're going to do an override here. Alright, so we're not going to do the base. What we're going to do is say, well, let's look. What does time board spit out? I should probably write this down. It's going to be in the docs. It's not yet written down, but it's going to be in the docs, so it'll be easier to remember. But what we can do is just quickly look. We'll populate this, and then we'll look at the time board and just see what the note values are. It's probably time board and full time or something like that, but or minute change or something like that. Let's see. Where did I put my button? All right, there's a button. So we need on this game time readout, and our text is going to be this, and then let's press play, and it should show the game time up here. There it is. So there we go. It's not updating though, because we only do it once. And so our next step is to look at the time board, which is down here in the Don't Destroy section. And we see the game time, and the board itself should be right here. Notes are not happening. Why aren't notes happening? Because I haven't set this. Alright, let's set this. Forgot to set this on the time board. We want every single time a minute changes, we're going to send an event. So now when we press play, the event will be sent on the next minute change, which should be in less than a second or so. Or a bit longer. Or it's not going to happen at all. Why isn't it happening at all? It should be happening. Alright, let's see. Game time. We are going forward. Where's our minute counter? It's going up. Oh, we're doing send events. That's why. Okay. We're going to write to console, and we'll get the events that way. So I add this write to console button because it's often nice to see when things are happening. So as you can see right here, we're now a readout of those events as they happen. And so we can see that it's pushing a Blackboard event, game time, minute, and it gives you the minute right there if you want that. But instead, what we're just going to do is we're going to do receive event. So let's do that. We're going to do override receive event, and this one we are going to say if Blackboard event dot topic does not equal game time, oops, with an uppercase G, game time, or Blackboard event dot subject, or I guess what is it? Not status, object, Blackboard event, game ID does not equal minute, then return. So the events are operated a little bit differently than the notes. Notes have a topic, subject, and value, whereas the events will have a topic, a game ID, which technically is supposed to refer to the object that had the event, although it can be used in multiple ways as well because it's just a string in the end. A status, which can give you a status update of an event, or again, it can be used in different ways. In this case, it's just being used as to pass along the minute counter as well, and an object. In this case, it's an int object. So we're not going to worry though about the details there, because as long as it's that, then we know that the minute has changed. So we're just going to say set time. And set time is just going to update this to the full date. We don't actually care what minute it is, or what the value of this is in the end. All we really care about is that something did change, and since something did change, we're going to do that. Now on toggle pause, this is what's going to happen when we press the button. We're going to say timeboard.gametime.pause to set pause, probably set pause. Yes, set pause level max. So this is going to set the pause level to the maximum of the either current level or this new level. So we're going to set it to the pause level, and we're going to keep this save last pause level true. That way, instead of saying, hey, set to the whatever pause level you want it to be later, you can say revert. So if you're like bringing a menu open, you can say, okay, set pause level 2 when the menu's open, and then when the menu is closed, revert to the last pause level. That way, if it was on a different pause level, you don't really need to know which pause level it was on. It will just revert back to its last one. But what we're going to do is say if timeboard.game, this is a toggle after all, gametime.pause level is equal to pause level, then we will turn it off. So timeboard.gametime.revert reset to the last pause level, else we will do the time board. So if it's already paused, then we'll revert or reset. Otherwise, we're going to set the time there. And then let's hook that up and we can test it all at once, and then we can work on the saving of the time board in the game time, which is very exciting. I'm actually excited to do that. I'm surprised I didn't do it before. Let's see, where was our button? Right here, and our on click. So on click, we need to I can't see it. Did I not make it public? Nope. And I'm going to do one more thing now that I want to change the color of the button too. So we're going to say public image button, and then public color on color, or color on equals color dot white, and public color off equals color dot orange, nope, dot gray, I guess. And then we will say okay, then we will say button dot color equals color. Oh, it's a color block. Oh, it is image that we wanted. It's not button at all. It's image. All right. We will say image dot color equals, if we're on the pause level, then color on. Otherwise, if I can type right, color off. All right. So basically, we're saying the color to on if this is true, to off if that is false. And so we can now, we've used this twice, so I'm going to make a property for this. So we'll say public is paused equals this. It's bool. All right, is paused equal that. And so instead of doing this here, we say if is paused, do that. And again here, if is paused, do that. That's a little easier to read for humans like us, most of us. All right. And while we've got the hood open, let's add some UI graphic scaler here, and we'll do a 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, just to make that a little bit bigger when we click on it or hover over it, just for funs. Oh, I didn't put the image. Okay, sorry, my bad. Let me just quickly throw that on there. I could have done that in the code, but I didn't. All right. Ah, the time is updating. Look at that. So now what's great about this is it only updates when the minute changes, so there's no update loop on this, which, you know, to be fair, the version that exists right now would probably require an update loop because there's no there's Blackboard, but it didn't automatically send stuff. That's a newer thing. So So now it's automatically sending stuff, so this only updates when an event is received. And we can pause it. Can we pause it? Nope. Well, why didn't it pause? I did set it up, right? Nope, I didn't. Read out, toggle pause. Alright, now save, because Unity has been quitting. If I have it in play mode and I update a script, it almost always freezes and hangs. Alright, so now we can or cannot. It looks like we can. But it didn't look like it updated this either. It should be something like that now. What should it be actually? Maybe we should make it like red to really show that it's paused. Toggle pause. Is pause going to look at that? So we'll have the new one. Oh, if it's paused, then color off. Otherwise on. So I just had those reversed. And while we're at it, let's change the color. What is the color going to be? Well, let's just see it rather than just going blind. We could make it something like that, probably. So let's just start it with it on, then set this here. All right, save again, press play, and now it should pause with visuals. It does. All right, so now we can pause. There's no more Blackboard events because it's currently paused. And as you can see, we also are unable to move because the script for the movement looks for the pause level, and I can't move when it's paused like that. I can select other players.
Are you sure
That's
about
nice.
this?
The idea would be that you can select a player and maybe look at their inventory and do other stuff as well. But we'll do multiple things. We'll be able to pause the game. But this will be one way to pause the game time. Otherwise, it will just keep updating and updating and updating and updating. So, time board. Let us turn off our right to console here. And now let's work on the save. So time board is savable. And to do something that's savable, you just add this savable script onto it. It gets its own custom little save ID, which has to be unique for the objects that have savable stuff. And then each object that can be saved will have its own ID, which also needs to be unique, but only among the objects on this. So essentially, this time board object has this ID, and each component could be savable, and it will have its own ID too. But now we need to make those savable, however. So in this case, we are going to make the time board savable, and we're also going to make the blackboard savable. What information on the time board do we want saved? We want to save game time. That's probably the important bit. I think Blackboard will save itself. Excuse me. And so, actually, yeah, so this is the Blackboard that's on here. If I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's the case. But I guess I don't really know until we check. This posted events I don't think is really working. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Blackboard. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back in like 1 minute or two.